PGA Tour 2K25 is set to launch on February 28th, 2025, with the option for players to play 7 days early starting February 21st if they purchase the Deluxe or Legend editions of the game. And today, I will be highlighting 12 new game-changing features in PGA 2K25 and also offering a couple bonus ones along the way. If you get some enjoyment, drop a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things PGA 2K25 and other sports games. And before we get going, I want to point out that everyone can download the PGA Tour 2K25 First Look demo now, and you can try the new game before launch on PS5, Xbox Series X, PC via Steam, and your MyPlayer progression will carry over when the full game launches on February 28th. So PGA Tour 2K25 will launch with a completely new Evo swing mechanic. The swing that you're used to from the PGA 2K series and the Golf Club series, the tempo heavy swing has been completely changed. So now, with the new Evo swing, your swing consists of 4 primary parts of the swing. Swing path is backswing analog stick movement that leads to a push or pull of the shot. Transition is the same way it was in the last game. How far you bring the club back before you transition from backswing to downswing, which sets the percent power of the chosen shot. Rhythm is completely different now. So in the previous game, when you hit a fast or a slow, it dictated the hook or slice of the ball, and it greatly affected the distance as well. So now, rhythm is the speed in which you move the analog stick from the down position to the fully up, which causes a distance multiplier on the shot. A slower downswing tempo leads to decreased carry distance of the shot, while a faster downswing tempo leads to an increased distance multiplier on the shot. So rhythm now only affects the distance. It does not affect the left or right movement of the golf ball. What's really cool about the new rhythm is the Evo swing timing actually adapts to your input mechanics for your tailored perfect rhythm. So depending on how fast you pull the stick back, the game will automatically adapt to your perfect downswing tempo for each specific swing. So the final part of the swing is contact, and that is the final analog stick forward or up position right when the club contacts the ball. Contact will determine the open and closed club face, which leads to a hook or slice on the golf shot. This affects both the distance and the left or right movement of the ball. So yes, a huge change, and there's more to it as well. I do want to point out, so swing plane has basically been separated into backswing plane and downswing plane. And then rhythm is a distance multiplier, transition is still the same. Now, every player also has a fade or draw swing bias or preference in 2K25. So when you're playing on pro difficulty or higher, this will lead to you as the virtual golfer needing to swing the analog stick diagonally for a perfect swing path and contact. But do not worry, if you do not like the diagonal swing, you can turn it off in the difficulty settings. However, if you want to play online ranked, the diagonal swing plane will be required. And the new Evo swing can be experienced in both analog swing and also 3-click swing inputs. But more on swing inputs that are allowed in online ranked coming up later in this video, and trust me, you will not want to miss it. Now, another thing that's important to point out with the diagonal swing plane, if you're playing on pro difficulty or above, so you can see I'm sitting in the light rough right now, my feet are below the ball, so that's going to make me swing at a more diagonal pattern, bottom right to top left. Now, if I start to shot shape, and I want to put more fade on it, you see how that diagonal swing plane gets a lot more aggressive? When you move it the other way, you can try to get it more vertical, but it decreases the forgiveness penalty. And now as you move it to a draw, I can hit a little bit of a draw on this shot. You can see it shifts to the other direction, an inside out swing. So it keeps you from getting all the way vertical. And it's the lie angle combined with your shot bias and your shot shaping that will change how severe that diagonal swing plane is. Is it more vertical or is it more diagonal? Moving on, PGA 2K25 is finally getting a new drop system after hitting the ball out of play. So there is now a new lateral drop feature, and this is a game changer. It allows the player to drop the ball in more realistic areas instead of having to re-hit the shot like you had to in 2K23. Now, we're going to have to see how the system works as a whole when the game launches, but the new drop system seems much improved based on what I played in the PGA Tour 2K25 first look demo. It'll be interesting to see how it works on the different creative courses though. Moving on to number 3, you now have the ability to change your position on the tee box. So players can now hit right trigger, and then you can use the analog stick when on the tee box to select where you want to tee off from. So this is a feature I've wanted in this series since the first golf club game, and I am so happy it finally made its way to the PGA 2K series. So if you want to tee off back left, you could do it. Back right. Now there are limitations to it. You cannot move around anywhere on the tee box, but I am so glad that they added this. Next up, PGA Tour 2K25 offers greater MyPlayer customization options compared to 2K23, including the ability to adjust the weight and body type of your virtual golfer. You can adjust your height from 4'11 to 6'6", and the game offers a variety of hair and facial hair options as well that weren't in 2K23. So dive into the demo and try it out yourself. You can create up to 3 MyPlayers in the gameplay demo right now, and those carry over into the game when it launches. Now, it's important to point out that you can no longer freely change your primary archetype of your golfer, and your archetype is locked after you create your character. But you can still create 5 different golfers with each having a different archetype when the game fully launches, but your choice is locked in. Next up, number 5, there's a completely new golfer attribute and skill and shot type progression system. So the attribute system from PGA 2K23 has been completely overhauled, and now as you level up your player by gaining experience and completing new quests, including daily, weekly, and many other challenges, you will unlock attribute points. You can then apply those attribute points to your MyPlayer with the cost of virtual currency, similar to that of the NBA 2K series. Every time you add an attribute point to one attribute, it will negatively impact the max potential of another attribute. For example, if I add 5 attribute points to the power attribute, my max potential overall for contact stat will decrease by 5. So every attribute is connected to another one, and when you add to one, it will decrease the max potential of another one. As you level up your MyPlayer, you will also unlock skill points. When you fully max out your player, you will not be able to get every skill, but you will get enough skill points to unlock around 2/3 of the in-game skills. So new to the series this year is the ability to spend skill points to unlock new shot types, and certain skills or shot types are only available to certain archetype as well. And here are the new shot types in 2K25. So new tee shot types, we have the power drive, stinger, and choke tee shot. And the power drive does require the powerhouse archetype. New approach shot types we have are choked approach, off the deck, spinner, runner, and knockdown. The knockdown shot requires the sculptor archetype. New recovery shot types include recovery shot, choked punch, and super flop shot. The recovery shot requires the magician archetype. New bunker shots include the pick shot, the power pick shot, and blast shot. Now the pick shot requires the technician archetype. And new shots from around the green include tap in, which means when you're close, it's an automatic make on the putt, bump and run, Texas wedge, and lag putt. And it's important to note that I only mentioned the new shot types in PGA 2K25. But do not worry, all the shot types you're used to for 2K23 are still in the game by default, and you do not have to unlock them with skill points. And if you notice, the only archetype that does not have a special shot type is the greenskeeper. However, the greenskeeper gets what may be an even better unique skill, that is the green reader skill. This skill increases the detail on the green grid by reducing the scale of each green grid square, allowing the golfer to get more information on the slope of the green. So this might be a game-changing skill, and honestly, the greenskeeper might be an important archetype. When I first did the first look of the gameplay demo, I'm like, I'm probably never going to use greenskeeper, but no, I think many of us might be using this in the future. Now moving on to number 6. To club fittings and the new club progression system. The club fitting system from 2K23 has been completely overhauled in PGA 2K25. Every club brand and category have an associated level now, and after playing around with that specific club, you will gain experience, and as each club levels up, you unlock additional club fitting slots. Each club can be upgraded to level 5 by gaining club experience, which unlocks 5 club fitting slots. You can apply a club fitting to boost a specific stat, and it no longer costs VC to do so. Once you level up a club to max level 5, you can then use an Evo tool to upgrade the club to a higher rarity, which boosts the stat increase for each club fitting slot for that particular club. But this comes with a catch, as this will destroy all the fittings you previously applied to the club prior to evolving the golf club. And for a bonus one here, a huge bonus feature in the clubs and golf bags, players can now have 4 completely different golf bag setups with different clubs and different club fittings applied. So you can have 4 different loadouts in PGA 2K25. And now number 7, career mode pre-tournament training and practice rounds. The career mode in 2K25 now includes both pre-tournament training sessions and practice rounds. And if you complete goals and perform well, it will boost specific attributes for the tournament that week. Not only will it boost attributes, you can also get bonus experience modifiers as well based on how you perform in these sessions. This is a feature I wanted in the game so bad, and I'm so glad it made its way into 2K25. And now on to a big one. Earlier I set this up and told you all to stay tuned for online rank changes, and here you go. Online rank swing input changes, because in PGA 2K23, both 3-click and analog swing types were both allowed in the online ranked mode. This is no longer the case. Analog swing stick input is the only input type allowed in online ranked in 2K25. This was confirmed by the legend Seamout for Life on Twitter, and here on screen is the Twitter post showing the ranked UI and indicating that it is swing stick only. Be sure to get out there and follow Seamout for Life everywhere. You will not regret it. He is such a great guy and an incredible content creator, and he will keep you up to date on PGA Tour 2K25. Now next up, number 9, moving to another new online feature, that is new ranked tours. So PGA 2K25 will feature a new ranked tours mode that will offer daily, weekly, and seasonal stroke play tournaments featuring different tournaments for different difficulty levels. On screen right now, you'll see another tweet from Seamout for Life showing the ranked tours UI, and Seamout also highlighted that 3-click is only allowed in tournaments of Pro-Am difficulty or lower. So I know this is going to bring up a question for a lot of people out there. Many 3-click players are probably wondering why. And this change is due, well, to the differences in the level of difficulty between the two swing input types. The Evo swing requires a diagonal swing, and there is no way that that difficulty can be reflected in 3-click. So 3-click would allow for a significantly unfair advantage on Pro or above, as you could just avoid the very difficult analog stick diagonal swing plane required. So the reason it's Pro-Am or lower, because on Pro-Am or lower, you don't have to worry about the diagonal swing. So there's not a massive advantage on those difficulty settings, but there would be a massive advantage on Pro or above, and that is why it is separated in both online ranked and in the ranked tours as well. Moving on to new graphics and HUD number 10. So the graphics have been greatly improved in PGA 2K25, and you can see this for yourself by playing the first look game demo. It was the first thing I noticed when I played this game. It was a massive change. So I had just played a career mode episode, Waste Management Phoenix Open, in 2K23, and then this demo came out and I started recording that first look video. It is night and day. And you have the option to choose between quality or performance graphic options for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Quality is 4K 30 FPS and performance is 60 FPS with dynamic resolution. Now in the settings, you can also increase the FSR sharpening. If you're on performance, you increase that to 90 or 100. The game looks so much better and performance just feels and runs so much better. I don't see why anybody would play on quality mode. But some people prefer it. And it's important to note that the performance in the gameplay demo is not a 60 FPS lock, and there are definitely frame drops in the demo. So hopefully this is something that gets improved prior to launch, and I've not had a chance to play on PC yet, so I'm going to leave that up to you all to let me know in a comment how the game performs on your PC. That would be much appreciated. I want to hear how it runs on different levels of PCs. And also, the new minimal HUD, it looks so clean. I love it. The post-shot feedback information is much improved as well because it shows how many degrees you are off on the swing path and the contact. And it also indicates what each result specifically does to the golf shot. Open and close club face for contact and push or pull for swing path, and it gives you that information. And rhythm and tempo now gives you exact information on how fast you were and how much it impacts the distance of each shot. This information is going to be great to help new players learn the different swing mechanics and is really great for all players of every skill level because as a nerd like I am, more information, more better for me. Number 11 is massive. New instant replay feature. 2K25 finally includes a full instant replay feature during your rounds. You can now control the camera freely and cycle between different camera options. This will also allow players on console to finally be able to explore new course designs with a more free roam camera. And if you all watch my content, you already know how much I love instant replays in my videos, so I'll be using this feature all the time. And as a recent comment by @DubWars here on YouTube said, I quote, "With the introduction of replays, Ryan's more talk, less golf rounds just went from 40 minutes to a 3-part series per round." And well, I mean, Dub Wars is not wrong on that one, to be fair, right? And last but not least, before a couple more bonus features, we got number 12, new golf ball physics system. So PGA 2K25 offers a new golf ball physics system that allows for much more realism based on what I've played from the demo so far. So no longer does the fringe act like Velcro or glue, stopping the ball from rolling back. Balls rose much more realistic over the fringe and other surfaces, and chip shots and other short game shots seem to have more realistic rollouts, especially when you're hitting them from the rough. And personally, I'm loving the new physics system so far, but obviously I played one course multiple times, TPC Scottsdale, and I've not got a chance to play the full game and seen how the physics system works on multiple courses and creative courses, and also playing the courses on the different course settings. Now on to a couple more bonus features that I have to mention, and this one right here is one of my favorites. The game has a new lie range simulation setting, which does not show you the lie range percentage anymore. I've been wanting this setting for years. I mean, so instead of getting the lie range, you will have an image of the ball on screen for each particular lie at the bottom right of the HUD. And the image actually updates and changes based on how deep the ball is in the sand or rough, and that image will adjust accordingly. This is awesome for true sim players, and this adds a unique challenge of real golf of not knowing how the ball will fly out of a particular lie. You have no clue the percentage in real life. You have a general idea, but you just have what's in front of you of how deep the ball is in the lie. I love this setting, and honestly, I'm going to be playing on this setting a lot. Now, I know I briefly mentioned this earlier, but the new quest systems includes daily, weekly, seasonal, sponsor, career mode, and likely many other challenge categories. And this will give players more to grind for and more ways to gain experience and improve. A lot of new features covered in today's video. And honestly, I said 12, but in each category, I kept adding more features upon features. So by the end of this video, I think I probably went over 25 or 30 new features. So sometimes I get carried away here on the Gamerability YouTube channel. And my name is Ryan. It is great to meet you all if you're new here, and for returning faces, it is great to see you all. If you get some enjoyment, drop a like, subscribe for more. And before you go, if you want to stay up to date on all things PGA Tour 2K25 leading up to launch and plenty of content when the game launches, be sure to click that notification bell after you subscribe to stay up to date on when the videos go live. I create contents for multiple sports games here on the channel. You like sports games, this is the channel for you. So if you subscribe, appreciate you. If not, that's fine too. Hope you have fun in PGA Tour 2K25 or whatever game you're playing. As always, have a fantastic day, everybody.